In October 2024, Iran launched more than 180 ballistic missiles against Israel in one of the largest attack operations in modern history. The result? Only minor injuries and minimal damage. What made this possible was a technological shield that intercepted most of these projectiles in the air, saving thousands of lives in a matter of minutes. This revolutionary system is only 14 years old, but it has already completely changed the rules of modern warfare. Today we are going to explore how the Iron Dome works, the most advanced and efficient anti-missile defense system in the world. We will discover how it manages to identify and destroy projectiles flying at supersonic speeds, how much each interception costs, why other countries are desperate to have this technology, and we will reveal the new generation of laser weapons that promises to make defense even cheaper and more effective. Before we begin, please leave in the comments your name and the city where you are watching our content from. The Iron Dome was born out of desperate necessity. In 2006, during the war with Hezbollah in Lebanon, more than 4,000 rockets rained down on northern Israel in just 34 days. The defense systems of that time were completely inadequate against this type of threat. It was then that Israeli engineers realized they needed something completely new, something that had never been attempted before in military history. The challenge was impressive: how to intercept small, cheap, and numerous projectiles that fly in simple ballistic trajectories but arrive without warning. The answer came in 2007 when Israel decided to bet on revolutionary technology developed by Rafael Advanced Defense Systems. The project would cost more than $200 million and had an apparently impossible deadline of just 4 years to go from paper to being ready for combat. Let's understand how this engineering marvel works in practice. The Iron Dome is composed of three main elements that work in perfect synchrony. First, we have the EL/M-2084 radar, a three-dimensional phased array antenna manufactured by Elta Systems. This radar can detect projectiles within a radius of up to 43 miles and track more than 1,100 targets simultaneously. It operates in the S-band and has processing capacity that impresses even air defense specialists. When a rocket is launched against Israel, this radar detects it in seconds. But here comes the really intelligent part of the system. The second component is the BMC, or Battle Management Computer, which functions as the brain of the Iron Dome. This computer receives data from the radar and makes complex calculations in real time to determine the exact trajectory of the projectile and where it will fall. Here is one of the secrets that makes the Iron Dome so special. The system does not intercept all projectiles it detects. If the computer calculates that a rocket will fall in an uninhabited area, it simply ignores it. This functionality saves thousands of dollars with each decision and ensures that interceptors are available for real threats. It is artificial intelligence applied to defense that was years ahead of its time. When the system determines that a projectile represents a real threat, the third component comes into action: the missile launch unit. Each Iron Dome battery has between 3 and 4 mobile launchers mounted on trucks for maximum flexibility. Each launcher carries 20 interceptor missiles called Tamir, a Hebrew word meaning interceptor. The Tamir missile is a work of art of engineering. With only 10 feet in length, 6 inches in diameter, and weighing 198 pounds, it is equipped with advanced electro-optical sensors and multiple directional fins that give it extraordinary maneuverability. Its high explosive fragmentation warhead is activated by a proximity fuse that detonates at the exact moment to maximize target destruction. The system's reaction speed is impressive. From detection to interceptor launch, the entire process takes only a few seconds. The Tamir missile rapidly accelerates to supersonic speeds and uses its data link and active radar guidance system to intercept the enemy projectile in full flight, creating those pyrotechnic spectacles we have seen so many times in the news. The Iron Dome's efficiency is one of its most impressive aspects. According to official Israeli data, the system has a success rate of over 90%, although some independent experts question whether these numbers reflect all operational conditions. In any case, since its first successful interception in April 2011, when it shot down a Grad rocket fired from Gaza, the system has already intercepted more than 2,500 projectiles over more than a decade of operation. But this efficiency comes at a price. Each Tamar missile costs between $40,000 and $50,000, a high amount if you consider that during an attack, hundreds are used. Since 2009, Washington has already invested billions of dollars in the system, not only out of solidarity with Israel, but because it recognizes the strategic value of this technology. In 2019, the U.S. Army bought 2 complete Iron Dome batteries for its own operational needs, especially to protect military bases abroad. But international interest goes far beyond the United States. Cyprus signed an agreement to acquire the system as protection against Turkish drones. Romania has expressed official interest. Singapore is secretly considered one of the main financiers of the original Iron Dome development, although it has never officially confirmed possessing the system. President Donald Trump, in his second term, announced in January 2025 an ambitious plan to create an Iron Dome for America, initially called the Golden Dome. The project envisions an expanded version of the Israeli concept to protect the entire American territory against ballistic missiles, hypersonics, and advanced air threats. With an estimated budget of $175 billion, it would be the largest anti-missile defense project in history. However, adapting the Iron Dome for a country the size of the United States presents unique challenges. While each Israeli battery protects between 39 and 58 square miles, it would require an astronomical number of batteries to cover the entire American territory. Additionally, the threats that the United States faces are very different from those that Israel combats. Intercontinental missiles and hypersonic weapons represent completely different technological challenges from the short-range rockets that the Iron Dome was designed to intercept. Here we arrive at one of the most important limitations of the system. The Iron Dome was specifically designed to intercept short-range threats between 2 and 43 miles. Against long-range ballistic missiles, Israel uses other systems from its layered defense architecture, such as David's sling for medium-range threats and the arrow for long-range missiles. The Iron Dome is only the first line of defense. Another significant limitation became evident during the massive attacks of recent years. When groups like Hamas launched thousands of projectiles in a short time, they managed to partially saturate the system. During the October 2023 attack, estimates indicate that between 2,200 and 5,000 rockets were fired toward Israel, a volume that seriously tested the Iron Dome's limits. That is why Israel is rushing to implement the next generation of defense technology, the Iron Beam. This system uses high-power lasers to destroy aerial targets and represents a potential revolution in anti-missile defense. The Iron Beam uses directed energy beams to disable drones, rockets, and mortars at a fraction of the cost of interceptor missiles. The Iron Beam finally became operational reality in 2024. During recent conflicts, reduced versions of the system were secretly deployed and managed to intercept dozens of enemy threats, according to official communications. A video released by the Israeli army showed the system destroying rockets, mortars, and drones using only laser energy. The great advantage of the Iron Beam is economic. While each interception with the Iron Dome costs tens of thousands of dollars, a laser interception costs only a few dollars in electricity. The system also has much greater firing capacity, limited only by available energy and the need for cooling after consecutive shots. But lasers also have important limitations. They do not work well in adverse weather conditions like heavy rain, dense fog, or sandstorms. Their range is shorter than missiles, about 9 miles, and they need direct line of sight with the target. Therefore, the Iron Beam is designed to work in conjunction with the Iron Dome, not to completely replace it. The continuous evolution of the system is impressive. In a March 2025, Israel conducted the most advanced tests in Iron Dome history, including new capabilities that represent a significant leap in system performance. Although details are classified, these tests suggest substantial improvements in the ability to deal with evolving threats. The strategic impact of the Iron Dome goes far beyond its technical efficiency. The system fundamentally changed the dynamics of conflicts in the Middle East. Before its implementation, each rocket launched against Israel had the potential to cause significant deaths and destruction. Today, the vast majority of these projectiles are neutralized before causing any damage. This had profound psychological consequences. The Israeli civilian population developed confidence in the system that allows maintaining normal life even during periods of tension. At the same time, groups that depended on rocket attacks as asymmetric warfare tactics saw their main weapon lose much of its effectiveness. Looking to the future, several trends are shaping the evolution of anti-missile defense. First, the integration of more advanced artificial intelligence to improve threat identification and reduce false alarms. Second, the development of even cheaper and more efficient interceptors. Third, the creation of integrated defense networks that combine multiple technologies. To truly understand the impact of the Iron Dome, it is important to consider not only its technical capabilities, but how it changed the nature of modern warfare. For the first time in history, a country managed to effectively neutralize a form of attack that had been used for millennia. This represents a fundamental change in the global military balance. The Iron Dome proved that even the most traditional military threats can be neutralized with sufficiently advanced technology. This is forcing a fundamental reevaluation of military strategies worldwide. Countries that depended on missiles and rockets as central elements of their military doctrine now need to rethink their approaches. As more countries develop similar capabilities, we may be entering a new era of warfare where active defenses become as important as offensive capabilities. This could lead to arms races between increasingly sophisticated attack systems and increasingly advanced defenses. The Iron Dome represents much more than an anti-missile defense system. It is a symbol of how engineering and innovation can solve problems that seemed insurmountable. In an era where regional conflicts can escalate quickly, technologies like this can be the difference between peace and total war. From its first interception in 2011 to the Iranian attacks of 2024, the Iron Dome has saved thousands of lives and forever changed the rules of the military game. With the Iron Beam reaching operational maturity and naval versions being deployed, we are seeing only the beginning of a revolution in anti-missile defense. The future promises even more advanced, cheaper, and more effective systems. But the Iron Dome will always be remembered as the pioneer that proved that a truly effective defensive shield was possible. For a system that began as a desperate necessity, it became one of the greatest achievements of modern military engineering. If this content was useful to you, don't forget to leave your like and subscribe to the channel for more videos about technology and military engineering. Share with someone who is also interested in these topics, and in the comments tell us what else you would like to know about military defense systems or other advanced technologies. Until next time.